Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live stream today. Welcome to Friday. Yeah, Friday. Really glad to have you. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Tyler, and I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. And today is going to be a great day. I say this every day because that is what says today is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And today is going to be one of those days where no matter what happens today, we will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm excited for you to be here. Say hello in the chat. We'll say hi back to you, and we're going to open today with some prayer. Good morning, Corey, KTM, Randy, Lamon, John. Good morning, Patrick, Matt. Good morning. Glad to have you here this morning. Richie, Jason, good morning. Interesting. I normally have a Wendy, good morning. Mafia, what's up? Fletcher, how you doing? What's up, Ted? Carrod, Blaze, what's up? How you guys doing? Carrie? It's going to be a good day today. Let's go ahead and let's open in prayer. We can obviously see the market is dropping right now. It's dropped about 100 points in the last hour. We'll take a look at that here shortly. So let's begin and open in prayer. Father, we honor you this morning. May your name be magnified in everything that we say and do. Father, we choose to put you in the first place of our lives, not second place, not alongside something else that we want to do, but Father, we put you first place in our lives. We choose to magnify you in everything that we say and do. Father, I pray this live stream would bring honor to your name. It would be pleasing to your ears. And Father, I pray your glory would be made known here in this live stream. I pray for everyone here that they would be blessed in everything that they set their hands to. And Lord, that you would bless them richly in and in every way. In Jesus' name. And everyone said, amen. Okay. Well, what do we got going on today? What do we got going on today? That's what I had to say. I'm done trading for the day and the week. Way to go. We're going to start with the daily time frame here. So I am bearish already. I can tell you I'm going to be bearish today. And the main reason is I believe in a market maker sell model. How low we want to go, I don't know. But yesterday or the day before yesterday, wiki candle. Following day, bearish candle. Look what it did close inside though. It closed inside of that daily fair value gap. We had a discussion yesterday of people wondering why didn't I include the volume imbalance down here? I separate them because when I see things like this, it tells me it's not as bearish or as heavy as I would want it to be, but it could find support here throughout the day. So maybe we wick the lows and come back up here. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe it's here and we want to move higher, right? When we drop down to the 4 hour, we start seeing a picture that I like a little bit better. And that picture is right here. I really like this breaker. I really like that we swept this high right here. Okay? I really like these things. So when I see indications like that and I see we got 30 minutes left on this candle, I need to consider going short. That's really what I'm thinking. We got a breaker. You can use this London low as the breaker. Look what London low has supported. Multiple times has it come up into that London low. Maybe it goes higher. But if I'm going to put a narrative and a plan together, this is probably where I'd want it to plan out. Am I not? Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys don't like just looking at me, huh? I'm assuming that's a little bit better. It's a little bit better, Tyler. Thank you. No wonder my views were skyrocketing, because people just like looking at my face. Okay, what was I talking about? Breaker, 4-hour breaker. London low from 2 a.m. January 7th. Look at the bodies respecting that. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Dropping down to the 1 hour, it's going to look completely different now. Okay, now remember, there is only a wick here and all the bodies were stopping right here, but the hourly shows something slightly different. We get price action moving up here to sweep this high, and then we get this aggressive drop at 9 a.m. So we're watching this hourly fair value gap right here. Excuse me. If we can't get below this, I'd probably have to readjust my bias to be long. I don't want to, or I can't take a trade, I should say. I'm interested in shorts. I'm interested in this breaker. Here's this breaker bar right here. Here's the 4-hour fair value gap overlapping with that, right there. Here's the inversion, the first inversion of the 4-hour time frame. Let's mark that out. That looks nicer. I like that. Okay, look at that. This is the inversion right here. Okay, and you see the reaction so far. Okay, so we got 2 minutes till market opens. I've marked out London low at least, so we'll keep that there, and then let's mark out our opening range. It's going to be a small opening range, so small opening is not conducive for a trending market. I think we did have news here. Let's see. Market opens in 2 minutes. I'm not interested in the 930 model. We're going to pass on the 930 model. Today is Friday. We got non-farm employment change, unemployment rate. All happened at 8:30. And then at 10, we got consumer sentiment. So if we drop down to the 1 minute time frame, we should see this candle here is my guess. Yep, that's 8:30. So nothing much came from this candle here. We don't have a wick. We don't have a data low or a data high that we can target. We're going to have to look for something else. We have London low here. Let's go ahead and mark our 7 a.m. level out. And we got 17 seconds till the market opens here. It could just pump right to the lows. It could come back and rebalance this and then run to the lows. We're at equilibrium right now, so that's why I'd rather not do anything yet. Okay, opening range has been filled. Pretty heavy. We can look for, we're gonna look for a short. We just need to look for that opportunity here. There could have been one here, but I'm not interested in that right now. This is that London, this was that breaker, right? This was that breaker that I was referring to. It came back up. And hit that level. This is the 4-hour sweep we're talking about. Yeah, the 930 model did work out. I just wasn't willing to participate in it. I didn't like the way it looked. Oh, we got a lot of low resistance liquidity right here. Okay, I like that. I just need an opportunity to go short. So that's what I'm looking for. Where's my opportunity? Okay, look how we stopped just short of the London low. That's fine by me. I'll look at taking an opportunity at some point if it can give it to us. If it gives us some type of setup. But I'm not gonna just take the pump today. I did that yesterday. It worked out nicely, but you can't just do it every time and get into the habit of that. It can be disastrous. It can be disastrous if you aren't careful. I do like the London low being tagged again. Is that 930? That's our 930 candle. Let's mark out 930 opening price here. All right, Ted, God bless. Nice job today. Congrats on being close to your payout, my friend. Gonna draw a high and low here and find out where the midpoint is. So we got a midpoint sitting right there. Once we hit 75 likes, folks, we'll do our daily affirmation. Our daily affirmation is a good one here this morning. If you appreciate the live stream, if you appreciate the good, clean content, the lack of language, the commentary, maybe even the worship music, give me a like. I greatly appreciate it. Hasn't been an entry here either. No entry I can see. if I was to take a long, interested in shorts, 50% is right here. We have our first inversion on the buy side of the accumulation sitting right here. That's sitting around, my guess is 61. Oh, that's one. Right here. Yeah, that's where it is. We'll mark that out. How do I know when to enter on this entrance into the fair value gap that just happened? And I go bullish, right? Not necessarily. You need to have a higher time frame guidance. I'm bearish. I want to see a continuation lower. Now, we did sweep this London low, and we might not get that, but I haven't seen a long entry here at all. So I'm just seeing a pump. I haven't had a retracement. This could be the retracement. This is where I would want to see it retrace to, but I'm not going to take a short based off of all of that, right? That's extremely aggressive. And if I'm going to take a long, let's figure out what our long criteria would be if we want to take a long. I think I need the 10 o'clock candle to close, because remember on 10 o'clock we had a sweep of liquidity. Okay, we have a London low sweep of liquidity right here. We have another sweep of liquidity. It's a double sweep, so I could see us go higher. I have a 4-hour breaker right here. I just have to decide what I want my bias to be. I really like this. I do like that. I do. But I'm going to stick with the narrative we've been seeing and see if we want to go lower. I think that's what I'm going to stick with. Now, it might mean I miss some opportunities. Yeah, near the top of the hour. Is that when the announcements are going to happen? When is the announcements? That would be great to know. When that information is going to come out. $10 a.m. is the Supreme Court ruling, so that's in 20 minutes. Yeah, I think it would be wise to sit and wait for that ruling. That's going to be a big ruling, I can imagine. This thing's in my way. Yeah, I think it would probably be wise to just sit on our hands and wait here. To anticipate some form of manipulation, reaction, big push in the market, who knows, something like that. And then we have in a few minutes, our first 15-minute candle is going to be closing here. Is that our first? No, our first presented fair value gap is right here. I should add that. What's up, Noah? So I decided, I think, did I share this on the stream? I decided I'm learning to play the piano. My goal is to play 15 to 30 minutes on a daily basis. I started in December. My goal is to do it this year with the goal of being able to play whatever I want, whenever I want by the end of 2026. And I'm enjoying it. But man, I watched a video yesterday of just like me realizing how much I don't know. I wanted to learn the piano. I watched a video and it was like a split second. I watched one video of a guy just doing some some practice stuff, and I'm like, wow, that sounds so good. I'm like, it can't be that hard. I'm gonna do this. And it was that quick. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because I want to show my kids what consistent practice and discipline looks like. Because they're old enough to see. They're old enough to realize they all play their own instruments. I have one son who's extremely talented at the drums, plays for our church, but he's kind of like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to chill out in this spot right here, you know? I have another son that his end goal. He's like, Dad, I'm going to be in the NFL. I'm like, okay. I mean, you have the body type, you have the speed, but do you have the discipline? And do you have the consistent work ethic to actually do something great like that? Because the truth is, most people think greatness is achievable with less work than it actually takes. Greatness requires so much more effort, so much more intensity, so much more endurance and patience and consistency than you ever thought that it would ever take. That's why there are so few people out there that you would call they're great at this. And the truth is, if you want to be great at trading, it's going to require everything. It's going to require more than you thought you were going to have to give. I want you to, let's accept that reality as truth here for a second. I want you to accept the reality that what you thought it was going to take to become a profitable trader is much more than what you thought, okay? If that's the truth, are you willing to do what's required of you to become great? I have to ask that question every single day. I have to ask that question every time I sit down at the charts. Am I willing to be patient? Am I willing to follow my rules? Am I willing to wait for my criteria? Am I willing to let other trades pass me by because it's not quite what I wanted to see, and I'm not just going to be, click happy, trying to get something? That's the question. Those are the questions you have to answer. But by and large, most people don't realize the amount of work and effort it's going to take to become great. So we had the breaker take place right here. Price did respect that and rolled over. We can see that. You just would have had to deal with, 10 minutes of back and forth like this, not knowing where it was going to go. Well, it's decided. There's the close below the first presented fair value gap. I'm going to wait. It's too close to 10 o'clock. I think that's the volatility of what the potential answer could be. I think the safe answer is wait till after 10 o'clock. I think the patience part is hardest for most people. But here's the truth. Most people don't realize they're impatient until after tragedy has taken place or they've heard it 100 times. Most people don't realize they're addicted to trading until after tragedy happens. Addicting to trading means you're addicted to the feeling of hoping that you're going to get a big win out of something. Oh man, I did all of that and we only got 71 likes. We need 4 more. We'll do our daily affirmation after our live stream. Also, we have a sale going on for those here. We have a sale to join the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. For 20% off, you can join. It's a one-time, includes the Discord, no monthly fee. The promo code is New Year. Code is New Year. So that's if you're interested in joining the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, to be part of the Discord and be a part of the growing community here that I believe the Lord has asked me to build. How do you fix what? How do you fix what? Yaz. There we go. We got 91. Thank you. Once we get past 10 o'clock, we'll do our daily affirmation. CP, welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here. The patience thing. Addicted to trading issue. That's a great question. I'm doing a whole video on it. It's the biggest video that will be on my channel. I'm probably halfway through. It's crazy. This video is probably only going to be 8 to 10 minutes long, and it's crazy how much work is going to go into this. Now, I've taken weeks off of doing this because it's just exhausting to work on. But how do you become more patient? The easy answer right now is you need a couple things. Because this is a faith-based channel, number one, ask for God's grace to empower you, okay? Because in Christ, all things are possible for those who believe, okay? Number one, it's possible. Number two, make it your primary goal to be patient. How do you do that? 2 ways. Restrict yourself to 2 or 3 trades a day. That's going to force you to be more selective in your choices, more selective in the setups you take, okay? Number 2, when you are in a trade, decide what your profit and stop loss is going to be and wait for either of those options to take place. It forces you to sit on your hands and to let the market do what it's going to do. You have your trade set up, you have your plan set up. Now you're just waiting to see how it wants to play out, and you be patient in that, okay? So there's patience before the trade and there's patience while you're in the trade. Both of those have to be developed. And if you develop them, you'll find growth begins to take place. It might not be in your account balance. It might be in the quality of trades that you're getting. It might be you're getting more break-even trades because you're actually being more patient. And then you start, refining, when do you take profit? When do I do all this, right? I really like this. I would be taking it if we didn't have 10 o'clock news. I'd be going long right here. But I'm not. So that's how you can grow in patience. Number 1, believe that all things are possible through those who believe and that He will give you patience. And 2, strategically input patience into your trading by setting rules around you that support patience to be the result of it. My criteria for trades is pretty simple. I want sweeps of liquidity, and then I want to take a trade in the opposite direction of where the sweep was. So the problem right now is we have a major sweep here, and we have a major sweep here. I have 2 sweeps of liquidity. Major sweeps, in my opinion. This is a 4-hour sweep, and this is also a 4-hour sweep. So where is price going to go? Well, look at this. I mean, look how it looks. See that? And it's right in the middle. This is what I mean. I feel like it's safer to wait right now because we have 2 big sweeps of liquidity. It's like it's running the liquidity on both sides before they find out the news so they can push the candle in one direction or the other. Now, we don't want to initially take whatever direction we get. That also could be a manipulation as well. But I look for sweeps of liquidity, and then I want to take the trade in the other direction. Sweep of liquidity, trade in other direction. Thank you, Noah. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good news. I mean, I can't imagine the Supreme Court taking the power of tariffs away from the president. That seems insane to do. It would absolutely destroy this country. So if they do that, expect the market to just start tanking, because that is going to be a huge hit to the economy. Massive. Like, this announcement is absolutely gigantic. Whatever the Supreme Court says about tariffs is going to have consequential effects, whether it's positive or negative. And we're going to find out in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't have the news in front of me, so if somebody wants to have that up, and when they give the announcement, let us know what they say. Yeah, but you got to think about not just the markets right now, but we're talking about the effect of the U.S. economy. I think it will be negative initially if it comes out. But I've seen the market go both directions when we have news like that. Yeah, I think when the ruling comes out, I think that's when we have the green light to trade. I'm probably not going to trade until I have that in the bag, because there's too much tension, there's too much anticipation of what the result's going to be. Yes, economy is now, market is forward looking. I agree. Sometimes I say those things interchangeably, not realizing I'm saying it. And I think we're going to know when that news comes out based on the aggressiveness of the candles. So the fact that we haven't seen any major movement tells me we haven't received the news yet. I like the idea of going short for sure. It has respected the first presented fair value gap though. Okay, there is a post here. The Supreme Court finishes opinion release for Friday. And they did not, Trump doesn't issue Trump tariff ruling on Friday. I'm getting a bunch of messages that, or posts that say there is not going to be any Supreme Court ruling on on his tariffs today. Here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, I'll go to my screen. So I'm on Supreme Court latest, and I've gotten multiple of these. Will not rule on Friday. Supreme Court will not rule on tariffs. Supreme Court will not rule on Friday in the U.S. President Trump tariff case. Will not. I don't know if this is just chatter or not. They've only posted one opinion, so they've already posted something, but it wasn't anything about tariffs. Yeah, so right now we're still hanging in the balance, but if that is the case, we might be able to trade, or it might just stay in consolidation. I'm interested in shorts. I am. Sweep of liquidity. We have another breaker here. Fair value gap respected. Low resistance liquidity all right here. I might, whoops, let me go back to this one here. I might look at a small short with a close below here again. All right, I am going to take that with 12 seconds left. We'll see if it closes below. We'll look at London low and some lower price action here. Here's current low of day. Is sitting here. We'll look at current low of day. Let's go to regular trading hours real quick. We have current low, regular trading hours sitting right below the London low. We'll see if it gives it to us here. Inversion of that first presented fair value gap would close my position. I really want to see a lower low put in right here. I'm going to take one contract off at low of day, that low right there. All right, one contract's off. Stop's going to be set at break even. And we're going to see how low this wants to go for right now. We're up 50 points right now. If we can survive the pullback and not get stopped out, if it does want to run, we have some room to London low. Previous day low is probably going to be my final target. It's about 60 handles from where we are currently and 105 from our entry. We already took profit on this, so this is a winning trade. It will be, stop will be at break even or just slightly below it so that we are in profit. So for those, there's a good chance we're getting stopped out. We are short, stops at break even, interested in running it to there. That's where we are right now. We did sweep liquidity, so that's why you should have taken profit. All right, stopped out at break even for the rest of that. All right, so that trade idea was based on the inversion of this first presented fair value gap with liquidity down here and here. lot of wicks there on the 15 minute. A lot of wicks right there. A lot of sweeps of liquidity. Wondering if this is wanting to consider going up here. I do have a 15-minute breaker that's sitting here that is really nice, to be honest. So this breaker right here, if we look left, there's the breaker. And we haven't reached back up into it. If this, if the 15-minute candle closes green, I'm gonna bet it closes green. I'm gonna take one contract long, only one. Anticipating this to be manipulation and us to run some of this liquidity right here. I'm only taking one because it's against my bias. I was looking for shorts, but this right here is speaking to me. Low resistance liquidity. We haven't hit the previous day low, so previous day high is still an option. We have breaker here. Stop's going at break even now. We just swept these relatively equal highs right here, or at least one of them. So I want to set my stop to break even and see if we get a push instead of a retracement back. And I don't want the retracement back, so that's where stops at break even. I'm going to close this position right here. I'll take that. Take that quick scalp for about 25 handles. All right, so far 2 for 2 on the day. No, you don't, Deep Sea. If I got my position for this long down here, I would hold through this pullback. But because my entry was so high, we could get a pullback to here and then move higher, and I just don't want to take a negative. I don't want to go negative on that. probably going to close my funded and I'll open my personal account here. I'm gonna be done on my funded. I'm up $400. I took a trade earlier in the day before the live stream that already put me green, so this puts me up about $400 on each account. And I think it would just be wise to do that. Take the win. Indicator on my screen. I don't have any indicators right there. I have those. And you can take a screenshot of that if you want. For those that are like, well, how do I know that you're telling the truth? There's my profits. I'm trading just take profit traders today. I like take profit trader is probably my favorite. And I've started just segregating my accounts just to preserve capital, not to go on. Because when you start trading, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 accounts, you're increasing your risk quite a bit. So I just want to mitigate that. Take it AMS, but it's nothing to be proud of. All right, so these wicks are giving me some direction. So my question is, if we're going to go higher here, where could my opportunity be in? If we look at the 4-hour though, the 4-hour did close green. Not extremely green, but it did close green inside the range. But at the same time, that same candle swept this low, and so did this candle. It swept these lows down here. So I would say it would be safe to say longs could be in order. We have the hourly. What is a 15-minute here? I think I would like a 5-minute entry right here into this breaker. We also have a breaker here. It could leave this open and be a breakaway gap. Very much could be. I think it's told us the direction here. It could turn very easily, but I just want to say. Oh, you're looking to add there, BC? Yeah, I'm not in any positions right now. This could be our breakaway gap here on the 1 minute. I would want to see us if we can enter a fair value gap here. That would be not bad. Breaker material here. It's not, honestly, this isn't the cleanest. This right here isn't the cleanest. It honestly makes sense though. If we can get a close above this 5 minute without running this high, may just take the long. Knowing that we have low resistance liquidity right here. We have a breaker here, fair value gaps up here. So in the context of this greater price range from high to low, we are sitting just above equilibrium. So we're in we're in premium, but barely. So we would want this to be our entry if we're going to go long. We don't want to get long up here. We also have the 15-minute closing. 5 minutes closing right now. All right, so there's the 5-minute close. Let's see if we can get a dip into it. Got to remember that it's 9:25, 10:25. No, you just have to type in the name. No, I did not take a long. I'm not long on anything right now. Holy macaroni. Those are not the funnest ones to miss when you want to get in on a pullback and it doesn't give you a pullback at all. There's the sweep of liquidity that I wanted. So we just had another 4-hour sweep of liquidity in the form of this candle right here. I'm a little irritated right now. Let the trade go, Tyler. Let the trade go. See what ES is doing here. ES has not hit its previous day high. NQ has hit. No, it's way past its previous day high, I should say. ES is almost at all-time highs. I think I'm going to take a small long towards this breaker. Like 1 micro. I'm not taking anything. We missed most of it here. So what I'm taking is more like a small little play. Just see if it goes. Yeah, it could. And you convinced me. I think that what was happening was me and my emotions talking. So I'm out of it. I'm not gonna. I'll let it go without me. I gotta show discipline. I'm just human, folks. I'm a human. You know what? Let's get our mind off the charts. I'm going to get my mind off the charts here for a second. I think that's a good thing. I think it's time for our daily affirmation. What do you guys say? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Hit the hard button if you want to do the daily affirmation. Yeah, let's do our daily affirmation. We're going to let it go. We were 2 for 2 so far. 3 for 3 total for me. I don't need... Don't need it. All right, affirmation for today. Let's give it. Let's do it. Here we go. Let me pull this off screen real quick. All right, here we go. Today's affirmation, I don't have my Bible with me, is based on Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. And verse 11 talks about how he disciplines those he loves. The Lord disciplines those he loves. Okay? Today I embrace discipline with understanding. Though it may be uncomfortable now, I trust the process God is using to shape me. His training is producing righteousness, peace, and lasting fruit in my life. I'm just reminded, even in just doing this, it's like, okay, Tyler, get out of your head. It is more valuable for you to not take a trade and be disciplined than it is for you to try to catch a trade already in the move. Yeah, you missed a trade. Yeah, people are in the chat are probably going to be going, oh, this guy might not know everything. This guy might not know this thing or that thing. Other people are going to go, oh man, this guy's really patient. All of it doesn't matter because I need to be disciplined based on what I believe the Lord's asking me to do. His training is producing righteousness, peace, and for me, the big one here is lasting fruit. You can have temporary wins, temporary gains, temporary accolades, but do you have lasting fruit? Lasting fruit is what I want. Something that can survive markets, something that can survive tragedies. I want lasting fruit. Yes and amen. I pray that blesses you guys also. Thank you, Steph. That's encouraging. I appreciate that. You're probably always your own biggest critic. All right, so look what it tapped. It reached that breaker. Now this is where I think we would probably get a decent pullback. I think, I was going to grab something. What was I going to get? I think I wanted to grab my Bible. Let me go grab my Bible. I want to read that verse. Hebrews 12:11. Here's the verse. It says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful." No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. It produces a righteousness of a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. That's what I want. That was my quiet time this morning. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. Hebrews 12:11, yep. I think it would be wise to wait for a retracement down to this 5 minute, and then from there maybe consider a long. Also could run lower. I mean, it would have to be in the macro, and I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that inversion right there, but it would need to be with aggression. It can't do a slow tick up. I wouldn't want that. But to be honest, I still would want the 5 minute. That is what gives me the conviction. This 5 minute tag gives me the conviction that the inversion would work, instead of it being a fake inversion just to run back down. So it is the fair value gap that gives me the confidence for an inversion long. You would need a sweep of liquidity. Well, this sweep of liquidity will take you into this 5 minute. That's the thing. That sweep takes you into that 5 minute. So there's the 5 minute. We got 4 minutes. Actually, honestly, what I would be doing right now is I'd be waiting for the 15-minute candle to close. There's only 4 minutes left. And then what's going to happen is it's going to create this 15-minute fair value gap. So there's a possibility of us entering that 15-minute. So I would not want to be taking anything right now, long specifically. Wow, why have I've gotten so many questions about that indicator. It's right there. There's the indicators. Take a snapshot. So, do you guys see that breaker tag? And I said expect some type of pullback. Like I said, I've said this in my chat before. I don't need to tell you when I take trades all the time. I did take a trade off of that breaker, and I traded it down to the 5 minute. I only did it on my personal account, but that right there is, that's part of my strategy. It's a breaker. Breaker, retracement. I was meaning a 1 minute entry off a reversal or counter trend move without a 5 minute change. Oh, Are you talking about to go short or long? Breakers are pretty simple to determine. High, low, higher high. And then what do? We break below it. And we wait for price to come back up to it. So that's the black line. What did it do? It came up to it. And then we moved away. Those breakers are basically what I look for. So breakers, sweeps of liquidity. We got one more minute. This 15 minutes turning into something very small. When I haven't had a 5-minute change in state of delivery yet. Got it. Yes, I understand. So on the 5, so let's just assume we're here. If it's here and we want to take a short lower, when do I take the inversion to the downside? A couple things. I want it to hit a key level. Do we hit a key level? This breaker for me was a key level. That's number one. Number two, there needs to be a fair value gap, a single fair value gap in that run to that high. If it's not on the 1 minute, you might get it on the 30-second. We get one on the 30-second. That fair value gap right here is the inversion. I didn't take this trade off it. I took the trade based on it hitting the breaker. But this could have been an entry point. So this is your inversion on the 30-second. It respects it and moves lower. And then you have to have a swing low as your target. That was the 5-minute. So I sold once we hit the 5-minute. That was my target. It needs to be relevant. Gabriel, that's Gable Stories. It needs to be relevant. Relevance. Okay? The good news is you just look left. What does it run into? This is the most relevant thing as far if price continues to go higher. When we get up here, we look left from here. What's relevant up here? This volume imbalance. That's the most relevant thing when we look left above that area. Okay, what about above here? Once we get above this area, what's the most relevant thing if we look left? Well, it's this daily fair value gap. Always look left. And it needs to be obvious. That's just the easiest way to put it. It needs to be obvious. All right, so there's the 15-minute tag. Right here for our 15-minute candle. This was our 44, so this was the 15-minute tag right here. There's the 15-minute dip into that. And what do we get? After we tag that 15-minute, we start seeing green candles again. So what is that saying? The 5-minute was irrelevant at this point. It was waiting for the 15-minute, at least from what we can tell right now. Here's the 15-minute. That's the 15-minute fair value gap. We dip into it, and it's right there. Am I convinced we're going to go all the way back up? Possibly. Not sure if I want to take it, though. I'm considering being done for today. Yeah. But it's not just any relevant level without a 5-minute change, right? How do you determine if the level is relevant enough to not wait for a 5-minute change in state of delivery? Okay, the two things that stand out in my mind when you ask that question is, number one, a key level. A key level is in everything that we'll talk about. And then number two is displacement, aggression. Those are the things. So when you look at this is a key level. Why wouldn't I take this long right now without a change in state of delivery? We haven't seen any major aggression and we got a lot of down close candles. We could still continue to go lower. And we have a breaker right here. There's so many opportunities for you to trade. And so you just have to pick the one that you want. And if you miss one, there'll be another one. That's when I got in, what was it? Long. What did I get in? I got in long right here. And I'm like, I got in long because I'm just like, I had a weak moment. A weak moment of price just going like this. And BC made a comment that just grabbed my attention because I say it all the time. Well, don't you get more pullbacks when you're not in the macro period? And the answer is yes. And I'm like, what am I doing? Click, get out. I wait, it goes higher, it hits a breaker, and then it's like, that logically is my strategy. Let's take an entry here in this consolidation. We hit it and then we consolidated. That was my clue to go short, and then we move lower to the 5-minute. I don't know. Well said, MJ. Our job is not to take every move the market makes, but to collect the few points that fit into our strategy. Yes, I use ICT. John, thank you. The website, if you're interested in using the code for the discount for the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, it's thepurposedriventrader.com. We do have a 2026 promotion for that going on right now. It will be ending next week on Wednesday. What am I doing right now? I would say I would be looking for 50% of this to be tagged before it starts moving higher. If it starts moving higher here, it could be a fake out. It is also 11 a.m., so we could get a nice clean move there. It's a possibility. We're seeing the 15-minute hold so far. I would be interested where that 15 minutes going to close. If it's going to respect this 15-minute or not. Your job as a trader is to collect the data, look for different confluences in price that can support your idea. The hourly candle is going to, at the top of the hour, you want to look at what is the hourly candle looking like. Is it supporting lower pricing or higher pricing? Here's the thing that I don't like about price today. This hourly candle swept highs and lows. This hourly candle swept highs and lows. It's not giving me a direction. This is more of a range. It's going back and forth. So if you're going to range trade, you take key levels like this and then you go long and then you target 50% of that. It hits 50%, you get out. You don't try to make the breakout. You're just trying to collect some cash or some points within it. Okay? So it went here. If you're going to go short here, you go to the first fair value gap, sell some. You go to the 15-minute, sell some. And if it reaches the 50%, I would close the rest of it. 50%. You don't need to get everything. Just get something. New Year is the discount code. Yes, New Year. Is the 1027 fair value gap worth looking at? Why would you look at the 1027? I actually like it, but probably not for what you would be interested in. I'll tell you why I like it. We have a retracement here. So here's the 27, right? There's the fair value gap, and then we have a dip into it, and what do we have on the opposite side? Another fair value gap. Somebody tell me what I just put together. What did I just mark out? It's a little sloppy, so newer traders are probably not going to be able to recognize it. What do you guys see? Who can tell me? Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody put it in there. Nothing. Nothing. Nobody got nothing. Sell model. Yeah, that works. What's my favorite pattern? Fair value gap on the left. Dip into it. Fair value gap on the right. Breaker! Boom! That's it. There's a breaker. It's a little sloppy, but it's there. High, low, higher, high, into a higher time frame breaker with displacement lower. You can wait for a retracement here. If price finds resistance here, you can take a short there. It's also directly underneath the previous day high, which is attractive, meaning you could see price come down here, maybe tag that, reach a little bit higher, and then start moving lower. That's a breaker. That's what stands out about that fair value gap. It's not the fair value gaps alone, but what's around it, what makes it important. Does that make sense? And you can see those everywhere. So your job is to be on the charts long enough to find out which ones are significant and which ones aren't. I like this one. We took a trade on this on Monday or Tuesday, maybe it was Wednesday, where we had a higher time frame breaker and a lower time frame breaker, and we took the trade short. It gave us 20, 30 handles, and then we closed the position. It doesn't mean, I think you guys need, I need to make sure I say this. Just because there's a breaker and we see a reaction from it, doesn't mean it's supposed to go to the floor. It might find resistance at another lower time frame fair value gap, and that's maybe where you need to take some profit or just close the position altogether. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's like the thing that makes it just go to the moon or drop to the floor. You got to remember that. Yes, Harvey, I talk about breakers all the time. I talk about them on my YouTube channel too. But it's more than just breakers. It's breakers in context of what's going on around you. So this alone, if it wasn't for this right here, this wouldn't be as significant to me. This breaker here makes this more significant. Now, does it mean it's going to work out? No. They fail sometimes. That's why you better not be putting all your cards onto that trade right there. Because you know what's more likely than not to happen is I talk about this whole thing and then it just blows right through it. Thank you, market makers. All right, here's 11 o'clock here in 36 seconds. By the time you receive it, it's probably like 10 seconds. Okay, so it reached the fair value gap right there. Let's give it a little bit more. I'm going to do a demo trade. Demo trade. Oops, I don't want to do that. We'll do a demo trade to see if this principle or this plays out. There's the breaker. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame first. I will tell you it looks bullish. It looks bullish. We have bullish price action. It could absolutely just go right through it. It may give us a retracement at least. Maybe a small retracement. But the hourly closed bullish. The 30-minute is bullish into an order block. So I would say this doesn't look extremely attractive based on the way the market structure is playing out. With that being said, we're going to see if we still get a reaction here and if we can make some demo ballin' money. All right, so there's the position. We'll take two demo trades. This is demo. Stop loss would be technically above the breaker. That makes it a large stop loss. It's a 30 handle stop loss. And normally, what I would want to do is wait for the candles to close that touched it. I would want to wait for it. Now, I would allow it to come up to the previous day high. Okay, now that we see for sure it's moving higher than that level, I would move my breaker to the body, which is above those fair value gaps. So fair value gap here, and we closed right through it in one stand. This does not look very attractive at all. And I already talked about how it looks very bullish, and this would be playing against that bullish narrative. What we could see here is this right here. a tag of that fair value gap or just about, and we'll see if it wants to give us a retracement. Still in line with the breaker. Still inside the breaker block. If I was looking for a target, it would probably be around this fair value gap here. Add more. No averaging. No averaging down. So see how it decide. I mentioned this even before we talked about it. I said that we have the fair value gap here, and I said it could probably come into here and reach for what? The previous day high. So it came into the previous day high and then is rejecting. So if you have other confluences that are inside the breaker, you need to consider those as well. You just don't take the low like we did right here. I'll repeat myself. This is a demo trade. I'm not losing or making any money on this example trade. But what does it allow me to do? It allows me to not have that pressure of making or losing money, so I can set my stop loss where it's appropriate, set my target, and I could just let it play out. Now, do I like that this is larger than this? No, I don't. I really don't. But this is logically where the stop loss should be. So what does that tell me? I should have waited for one of these higher one of these higher levels to be tagged and then made my entry here. That would have put me in a much better position to allow this trade to play out. In essence, it should have looked something like this. Closer to this, the body of the breaker here. And then making my stop 14 handles with my target at 40 handles. Do you see the difference? So just jumping in at the early onset of it is not always in your best interest. It guarantees you're in the move, but you may accumulate larger drawdown as a result of it. Assuming this plays out, this may not play out. We just tagged that fair value gap there. This one right there. It's not looking good, folks. We just closed above that order block. 15-minute looks strong. 5-minute looks strong. It could give us a fair value gap retracement. Which 4 hour? Because I got 2 4 hours that are happening on right now. Yeah, I can tell you. I mean, when we were talking about that breaker, this, knowing that this was here. And there's a stop. That order block on the hourly in this candle here and the close at 11 o'clock really tells us more than likely where price is going to go. That's why this, when we were taking, I'm like, it doesn't look good, but we'll take it for educational purposes. It did give us a small pullback right here. It did it from the body, but the direction of the higher time frame narrative overrules any breakers. That's why you just can't take a breaker to take a breaker. All right, folks, I'm going to call it a day there. We're going to be good for today. God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. We will be back here next week right at 9:15 New York Standard Time. If you like this, I greatly appreciate you considering subscribing. Thanks for hanging out with me today. God bless you guys. We will see you all next week. Take care.